All right, Bill, we're live here.
All right.
So yeah. So just tell me again, just what you mentioned a moment ago about what you played last week. You did a little bit of the what do you call it? Pine Trace, or no, not Pine. Paint Creek.
Paint Creek, yeah.
Paint Creek. And good, bad, or indifferent. What all happened there?
Yeah, so before that, I went out and tried to rush out and get 9, but I played pretty poorly because I felt like I was pretty rushed, so that didn't work out so well. And then I went to the range after that, spent some time, and I felt like I made some good contact, tried to keep some things in mind that you told me. And then on Saturday, I went out to Paint Creek, and I had a lot of fun. It was good. I hit the ball pretty well, at least for me anyway. Almost broke 50, but I was kind of happy because that included 3 holes where I 3-putted, and I just shouldn't have, and things like that. So
Sure.
yeah, so it was fun. And then I went to the range yesterday, and that was kind of mixed. I felt like I was topping the ball, and it was a little frustrated. So yeah, looking forward to today.
Yeah, good. And you mentioned the head cover drill we did last
Oh yeah.
week.
Yeah. I did that.
And you found that to be a little helpful.
Yep, I did.
Yep, good.
Yep, I
And
did.
if we need to, do more of that, we certainly can.
Yeah.
In regards to the putting, though, you mentioned just a second ago. Actually, I just posted a video about a week ago, how to stop 3-putting.
I think I just saw that. Yeah.
And I felt like, the content there was really good with the drills and things to help and to keep the body more still and stable, to work on the face at impact. So hopefully, you could, if you said you already saw that one, but hopefully, some of that stuff can, with a little bit of practice.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet. I just saw the header on
little
it.
thumbnail
It caught
thing,
my
yeah.
attention. Yeah.
Yeah, well, good, yeah. And how much did you utilize that head cover during practice?
So I used the head cover one range session over at Pine Knob, and I found it worked out well. I mean, I really didn't have any issues hitting it, so I felt like it worked out pretty well.
So just to reiterate, we had that placed about right here.
Yeah.
So that you could hit more center face shots.
Right.
Because you had the club that was going, remember your backswing was working a little bit, under the plane, behind you a little bit. You got into a shorter top of swing position.
Right.
And then you pushed out forward this way with the hands and club.
Yep.
And inevitably that club head went over the top of that shaft plane, and you cut across it this way. So the pushing out made everything go out, hence you would have hit the head cover a lot.
Yeah.
So this was to help get you a little more shallow on the way down and inevitably attack it from the inside, a little inside out, so to speak. So
yeah. So what you told me last week was really helpful because I was conscientious of that as far as as far as like going back, with the noodle.
Yep.
And kind of going back and kind of holding that, and then coming up here, and then just trying to come inside of it. And I found myself going in, so it was helpful.
Good.
But I still found myself throughout the week, like I felt like I'd be hitting the ball here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And then the other times, 2 things seem to happen to me. I either hit it too high here, or I hit the ground first. So those were the 2 most consistent things. I'd say I was probably hitting 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4 pretty good.
Okay.
Right. And the other times I was either hitting the ground or I was kind of topping it.
If you had to put a percentage on it, would it be more thin ones or more fat ones?
Of the 2, I'd say maybe more thin ones.
Okay.
Of the 2. That's kind of like 60-40. It's a little close, but
has that always been a problem, or is that something just like in the last week or so?
No, it's a historic thing. It's kind of a tendency that I have.
So topping it or hitting it thin, hitting the equator of the ball, you could say,
Yeah.
very common, very prevalent, unfortunately. Now, there's many reasons as to why that's happening, but a way to try to help that a little bit is, do you make practice swings when you're on the course? Do you make practice swings when you, yeah? So when you do, you would scoot far enough away so you don't, hit the ball, obviously. But when you make that practice swing, and I tell students all the time, not just making swings where the club is hovering above the ground. That's a practice swing, sure, but I'm talking a real, let's call it practice swing, where you're actually scuffing some of the ground. Take a little divot. So when you do that, and I would try to replicate a full speed practice swing in this instance here, but you would like to, enter the ground right about here, even with where your ball would be, and then the divot would be forward of the ball here, because if you make a practice swing and the divot's back in here somewhere, you hit it fat, or if you had no grass, no divot, you may have caught it thin or topped it. It's a way, I can actually show you on the V1 when we look at it in a little bit. I can show you a drill. I got two different drills that Bryson DeChambeau that he was doing. He was in a sand trap actually, which is even more difficult because you can slip on the sand a bit. But he simply scuffed a line in the sand, and he made full-blown, no ball, but full-blown practice swings, and every single divot was forward of that line.
The line was the ball.
Correct.
Right.
Unbelievable. That's something, again, I've advocated to students forever. You could be on the driving range and just take your club like I did, take the toe and just kind of scrape a line, right in the grass. Straight line. And you can line up, 10 balls, give it enough room, but 1, 2, 3, give it enough room in there. And no, I'm not saying machine gun all those balls, but you have them lined up like that, and just see, of those 10, were your divots on this forward side of the line. Because if your divots are back here, it's fat, for example. So that's one little way to, to help kind of train the hand-eye coordination, of hitting the ball as flush as we can. No one ever said that was easy, but when we compress it and catch it clean, flush first, ball, then divot, like these guys, the pros, the feeling is amazing. And what the end result is, it just jumps off the face. The distance goes through the roof. We top it or hit it fat, we lose a bunch of distance. Now, if I had the choice between two, either fat or topped or thin, topped's one thing, but thin is another. Thin's at least going to advance. I would choose the thin one over the fat, because the fat ones, it just kills the club head speed. The thin one is going to get, this high off the ground, but at least it advanced. So, but yeah, solidness of hit is, we would all love to catch it as flush as these tour guys.
And I've seen, like, when we want to hit the ball, like, we're technically not hitting the ball at the bottom of the swing, right? The bottom of the swing is slightly after the ball. Is that
correct?
Is that right?
Correct. And I can show you some videos of that on the V1. There's data with the tour pros. I believe it's a 7-iron where they average about 4 to 4.5 inches after where the ball was. 4.5 inches after is the low point, the bottom of the swing arc.
So when addressing the ball, should I address it like a little bit out here? Like knowing that this is the bottom, so therefore I go like that, or
not necessarily. No.
Or is that what this is about? Like,
well, you can certainly have a little forward shaft lean. That would be nice, and we'll make sure your posture and all that stuff is good. At address, we'll make sure ball position's good, of course. But the lowest point of those guys, bottom of the arc, with those short clubs, 4 to 4.5 inches after the deepest part, the lowest point, after where the ball was. So about in there.
That's crazy.
When you think about it, it is. But I'll show you some videos. It's pretty cool, actually. Most people don't comprehend that. And I can even see your expression is you're kind of blown away by that. As most people are. Because I get, beginners in here all the time, and when they hit one thin or they don't hit it solid, especially if they hit it thin, they'll say, oh, I didn't get under it enough. And I'm like, oh, no, it's like, your fingernails on a chalkboard because we don't want to try to get under the ball.
Right.
Now we
Right.
can hit it fat.
Yeah.
But we don't want to be helping it. We want to hit down to make it go up.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway.
Interesting.
So, and that's your 7?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and let's get you a little more loosen up. How far do you average with that? I'll put the green out accordingly.
I think last week we landed around 90. That's what we said.
So, yeah, we've got this set at 100 here. So, yeah, we can pull it down to 90. So, okay. When do you plan to play next?
So probably Thursday and Friday, and then I'll probably in the weekend. Maybe I got to travel for business, but Thursday, Friday, and maybe once on the weekend. So I'll try to play 2 or 3 more times before next Monday.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. And I forget, you're in a league or something?
No league.
Okay.
No league. Just trying to get it together.
Gotcha. So we'll hit maybe 5 or 6 more. Then I won't film you yet.
Okay.
We'll get you a little more loose.
Hit the ground first on that.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
And as you're over the ball, I ask people this, students all the time, every day. Anything in particular you're thinking about or focused on, or
Yeah,
trying,
I'm trying to pick up from last week, right? The backswing, and then when I get up here to come, slightly under, so I'm hitting it from the inside. I'm trying to do that. That's pretty much what I'm thinking about.
Okay.
It feels like at least I think I know what I'm doing wrong. Like I know it feels like I'm like going up and down instead of just like staying consistent.
Sure.
I also feel like I hit the ball better on a course than I do in a range.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, it just I do hit better when I'm on a course.
Good. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are amazing range players, and on the course they're not so hot.
Yeah, I'm consistently hitting the ground, at least today. I've yet to really hit a thin one.
And are you going at it at the moment at your full speed, your full normal?
Nah, maybe 80%. I could try one.
Because the overall speed seemed a little less to me with the naked eye than what it looked to be last week. I was just curious about that.
Yeah. No, I'm. This is a little bit more. That's the top I was telling you about.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm still inconsistent. So.
So what I'm seeing, and It's very similar to what we saw last week, as far as, excuse me, the backswing being a little off plane, and then the downswing is off plane, coming down over the top. And where you are catching many of those shots towards the heel, hosel area.
Yeah, here,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
go ahead.
No, that's in spite of me trying to keep it, and so it's just, but I'm still above the line then when I go back.
Under it, a little underneath it, going back, and then you actually come a little bit over it on the way down.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to want to tweak that shape of swing. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So, yeah, the couple that I saw here, actually the one backswing that I said, I actually videoed one here. The backswing was actually pretty good on this particular one, but the club still does though come down steep and over the top. And it's actually here, let's do a couple things. Let's look at the simulator screen first. So let's look at that first. So I want to just look at the data. So you hit 10 shots. I know you hit a few more, but I moved the green and then I deleted some of the shots from the lesson before you. But so you're averaging there 65 yards. Now you most definitely have a 100-yard shot in you. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, that one felt good. I remember that one.
Yeah. Now notice the very first shot, you had 60 miles an hour ball speed. Again, that's literally how fast the ball left the club face.
Okay.
The very next one, you had 10 miles an hour more, which is, great. And you had a 101-yard shot. So ball speed, or the BS, as we joked about it, the BS, that's one of my videos I think you said you might have watched.
I did.
With the red background, the guy looks like he's all angry. Golf is BS. So a little play on words. But so, yeah, ball speed. We want a high ball speed. That is, of all the factors for any golfer on the planet, of all the factors to get more distance, the number one factor is club head speed or ball speed. How fast, the ball is literally leaving the face. The speed into impact. So many other variables. Solidness of hit. If it's fat or thin, of course that's going to kill the distance. The centeredness of the strike. Like, was it on the sweet spot or not? We know that there were too many still in the heel and the hosel that you were hitting.
Yep.
So, and then that's when I asked you, is probably somewhere right around in here, when I said it, visually, it was looking like your speed was kind of low. And that's why I asked you if you were going at full speed.
Right.
So I know you could apply a little more speed to the equation because, let's be honest, everybody wants to hit the ball further.
Sure.
But as I always tell people, don't confuse, let's get more ball speed with swing like a maniac and fumble all over the place and fall on our face. I don't mean that either.
Yeah.
So, and there's plenty of different drills we can do for club head speed. Actually, one of them, you can do it right here if you like. If you just take your club and you just flip it upside down.
I saw that one.
Yeah, the little whoosh drill.
Yeah, that's the one.
One of the oldest ones in the book. So if you stand in your spot right here. Now, do you overlap or interlock your finger? Look, you interlock. Yeah. So me personally, I overlap. This way. But when I do the whoosh drill and I overlap, I feel like I'm barely holding onto the shaft because it's so thin here.
Yeah.
So even though I overlap, when I do the whoosh drill, I interlock.
Yeah.
But you already interlock, so that's fine.
Yeah.
I feel much more secure with this thin shaft here. So you would take your normal posture and all that stuff there. But what you're ultimately trying to do is hear as loud of a whoosh as possible through, the hitting zone. Yeah, even louder. I mean, precisely. Even louder. Louder. Come on, Bill. There you go. There you go. Exactly. So, what's interesting for a lot of people, they don't know they have it in them.
Yeah.
You know, they feel like if they go faster, they're going to be so wild and out of control.
Yeah, that's part of it, right? It just feels like if I was really to go, like I would lose control.
Experiment with it.
Yeah.
I highly doubt you will lose control. You
Not
might
any more
feel
control
initially,
anyway.
well, you know, you might feel initially like you're going to lose, you be out of control, but you won't.
Yeah.
I don't think you will.
Okay.
Again, not to confuse it with swinging like a maniac.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
stumbling over and falling on the ground. So yeah, I was gonna say sometimes I'll say to people, it's like I gotta put earmuffs on, like it's getting so loud in here with all your speed. I gotta,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would
Yeah.
like to be able to do that,
Yeah.
cover my ears because there's just too much speed. But so
That's
yeah,
where the donut thing comes in as well, right?
correct.
Yeah.
And exactly. And we did some of that last week.
No.
No?
I saw that video online.
Yeah. Yeah. Now here, actually, let's do it. Let's do it. So here's the donuts. Now these are for literally getting loose. They're just, you don't hit balls with this.
Right.
So you put this first one on, just rattles down to the bottom there. And you can go ahead and make your swing. Like I say, it's just to kind of get loose with. But you can try to, you know, swing with as much speed as you can. Now, because it is a little heavier, it may be a little slower, inevitable speed because it is heavier. But now what I'll do with people is we'll do this. Let's put a second one on. As I say in my video with this, oh, you got oversized grips? Oh, there we go. Okay,
yeah.
Just fits on there. You're going to feel like you got a sledgehammer in your hands. Now, the speed with this bill may be a little bit slower because it's so much heavier.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? But you're still trying to get some speed. The other thing I see that's happening there, which I love, is you're getting your hands and arms up higher, up at the top of the backswing.
Yeah,
You're making a fuller backswing.
What I like about this is I warm up with it, and I like the stretch.
Sure.
Like it forces me
Sure.
to go back.
Why not? Exactly. Typically a little higher, you know, hands up at the top, bigger, fuller top of swing position. We've got a little better chance for more power. So, because we know your backswing is pretty short, and it's harder to generate power typically from a shorter backswing. Now, there's a few guys that kind of get away with it. John Rahm, Tony Finau. Now we're talking the best players on the planet. Now they found what works best for them.
And I think part of that has to do with being overly cautious, you know, like trying to be too methodical, like too deliberate.
Correct.
Instead of just.
I know, where we kind of get in our own way in a sense, and we don't let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's part of like speed training.
Yeah.
That these guys all do. Like these clubs here, these they're called super speed golf. They're different weighted clubs, sticks. You could almost.
I saw that video too.
Yeah.
That you did. Yeah.
Yeah. Very helpful. It's proven to get more distance.
The one with the little bullet chambers at the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, let's take a look at some of your swings here on the TV, on the TV behind you there. So let's take a peek. Let's go back over here to face on. I'm gonna move this camera over here so people can get a better look at this. All right, so let's see if we can zoom in on this one. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's take a look at what we see here. So you're more than welcome to stand or sit, Bill, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So let's go back and do a little comparison. So over here, actually, let me start this for you before I forget. All right, Bill, let's take a look at your swings from today being over here. Last time, over there, what we saw is there was perhaps a little more forward press of the shaft than what you may want to be. The more we start to lean the shaft, forward, this way, if you will, we can start to de-loft it a little too much, and you could be turning that 7-iron into almost like a 5-iron, for example. So potentially hitting shots a little bit lower. But you definitely had more weight on this lead side, the right side, about 60 there, 40 over here. It's like if we pull up Tiger and we can, you know, take him like we did last time, we'll flip him around, make him a lefty here. So you can clearly see 60 here, 40 here. I would absolutely advocate that with your wedges all the way up through, even up to your hybrids, quite frankly. Anything you're looking to hit down on to take divots, you know, with, I would certainly do that. Now, even, did I show you last time even the example with Sergio?
No.
With a 3-wood? So here, I'll show this to you real quick. So if we look at, this was last summer, Chicago, at the Live event. You know, they got the Live event that's coming here.
Yeah, I saw that.
In August,
Yeah.
the next month. Yeah, that's going to be tremendous. So obviously he's a righty, but I'm just going to flip him here to make him a lefty. So he's got this 3-wood here. It's on a very small little tee right there. And watch what he does here. So as he starts coming down, we know all the down cocking, all the lag he has. It's unbelievable what's going on right there. But even though it was on a small little tee, look at the amount of divot that he rips out of here, right there. I don't see players, you know, when I do playing lessons outside, that take divots this big with their wedges.
Yeah.
But you talk about hitting down and compressing it. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting to see that right there. Most people don't know that that's happening. Now, he hit down on that maybe a little bit more than what some of the other pros will tend to do, but he compressed it beautifully. Now, let's go back over here to Tiger. So, and then we can look at some of those divots that we were talking about earlier. That'll be cool to see that. So let's put our lines again over here. I always like to look for any swaying, sliding, anything like that. Or this, I'm sorry, I got one step ahead of myself. I wanted to just compare that with you. Yeah, pardon me, and let's go back right here. So again, this is today. This is right now. Swing you just made a few moments ago, and that was, you know, last week over there. So as far as what I'm seeing here right now, let me get this queued up here. You had the club face there. We zoom in on that. Look how incredibly closed that club face was. Now, I don't know if you realized you were doing that or not. Was that done perhaps because, quote unquote, all I do is slice to the left, for example? So maybe you close the face?
It's just me making sure I, you know, like scoop it or pick it, right? Or, well, kind of like you said, you don't want to hear about like get underneath it.
Yeah, well, because certainly when that face is closed as much as it is, the shot could go, you know, well off, you know, to your right.
Yeah.
When we see last week, see that face is much, much more square.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I was noticing this today, many of the swings, the shots, you were closing that face quite significantly. Now, I hear students on a daily basis talk about this. You know, they do that because, like I just mentioned, you know, quote unquote, all I do is slice.
Yeah.
So they'll put like a little Band-Aid fix on there, which it's just that, a Band-Aid fix. That might work for any given swing, but for long term, forget about it. But anyway, I just wanted to ask you about that. The grip looks pretty decent. I do want to get a better close-up look at that in a moment. Did I have you last week, we gripped this lefty molded grip?
No.
No? Because your hands last week looked pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed now you also have a glove on. You didn't have that last week.
Yeah, I forgot to have it last week. I prefer to have it on.
Mm-hmm. So ideally, when we look down, from the player's perspective looking down, if you could see the first 2 knuckles on the back of that right hand there, ideally that's, you know, pretty fundamentally sound. And it looks to me like you are able to do that. As long as, because the other thing I like to look for is, can I see a bit more of the logo or the Velcro or the strap of the glove? Because often if I don't see much at all or none, I know the player's hand is in a weak position. So in other words, if you had your right hand as you look down, and it was like this, if we look this way, see how we would barely see this? So you'd want to make sure that this is a little bit more in your fingers,
Yeah.
rotated this way, so your hand is rotated away
Yeah.
from the target.
Yeah, this is usually how I line up, is
Okay,
here.
all right.
It's like this.
It's a little in the palm right here, so we want to get this hand physically rotated more this way. So now, as you look down, your right thumb is slightly to the left of center. See that?
Yeah.
And this V right here between your thumb and index finger is going up here to about your left ear. Yeah, and then your left hand gets placed on there just like that. That looks pretty good. So now I'm seeing a little bit more of this logo here. See how you could now easily see those first two knuckles?
Yeah.
So your grip was decent. We could tweak it just a little bit, just to make sure that it is as neutral as possible. It's a little bit on the weaker side, in particular with the right hand. Now you also have, this week, for whatever reason, you had the ball played more back in
Yeah.
your stand. I didn't know if that was something you were aware of or not.
Not necessarily, no. It wasn't intentional.
And by doing that, we are kind of setting up, if you will, to hit a lower shot, like a punch shot almost.
Yeah.
And there were many of these shots that were very low.
Yeah.
You know, if we look at the data right there on the simulator screen, so looking at it right there, as far as the ball data, you averaged the peak height. You averaged 3.5 yards. The peak height.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, so very, very low. You were
Yeah.
kind of smothering the ball.
Yeah. Yep.
So if let's put our lines here and let's do this. Let's do this. And then we'll put the circle on our head over here. The other thing in relation to last time, and I believe we talked about this, you could see how your head was in front of the ball
Yep.
last time. Notice today it's even more in front of the ball. Ideally, those pros have the head slightly behind the ball.
Behind the ball.
Yes, correct. So actually here, let me just pull up Tiger again. So right here, so let's flip him around. Let's make him a lefty.
Oh, I
so,
see it.
Yeah,
I see
see
it.
that right there?
Yeah, I see it.
So he's got the ball a hair
Yeah.
forward of center. And we see right here how the head is a little bit behind the ball.
Got it. Yep.
Yep. Again, you are setting up to what appears to be like you're trying to hit some sort of intentional lower punch shot.
I wish it was intentional.
Yeah. So let's put those lines again over here. So last time, actually what we should do, and we'll re-video a few swings with you doing the whoosh drill and actually with the swing donuts, because you made a beautiful, full, high, complete top of swing position. You gave yourself a much better chance for more potential power and distance. So looking right here, as you swung back, again, that's last time, we saw quite a bit of swaying off the ball laterally with your lower body and your upper body. I mean, you were literally 100% out of the circle with your head there. With a relatively short backswing, you went just basically a little past half. Now from here today, as you worked it back, much better in regards to sway. There's essentially no sway, or very, very little compared to last time, but the head still moves off the ball. Actually, I'll show you something you can do. There's a couple different things we can do in regards to the head movement there, but you can actually utilize your head and your shadow. As long as you have a little bit of daylight, it's all you need. And I'll show it to you. We can use the simulator screen to simulate that in a few minutes. But I would be trying to turn more around a fixed axis, if you will. There's just too much movement off the ball, and a lot of times it's very difficult to get back into that circle, let's say, when we've moved so off the ball. And now on the left side, when you came down last week, there was very little turn and rotation of the body. It was essentially all arms and upper body.
Yeah.
In other words, I see that left foot totally planted into the ground. Over here on the right side, as you came, whoops, let me get rid of that. Let me put that circle back. Whoops. Oh, what happened to our circle there? Let me put that back there again. I don't know what happened to that. So right here, as you swung back, and now as you're coming down, Same thing, just hanging back on that left side too much.
Yeah.
So, and someone that played, actually a guy that earlier today, one of the lessons, he's playing the ball back in a stance like this. And what tends to happen when we play it too far back is it doesn't really incentivize us, you could say, to move and shift forward. Because when the ball is a little more forward, it kind of incentivizes us to move and shift forward, like I was just saying. So, and in your case, when you are literally just hanging back, you know, on this left side, the back ball position is not helping.
Yeah.
Now, as we continue through with this, you know, now you start to get that left heel off the ground, but it's a little after the fact.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And the finish was still a little incomplete, getting a little picky with that, but actually I want to see what was happening there again last time. I think it was a little incomplete, if I remember last time as well. So, yeah, actually last time was a little better, to be honest with you, because typically, you know, if we can see the club that touches somewhere along the back of the head, the neck, the shoulder, somewhere over there,
Yeah.
you feel the shaft there, ideally that's just a nice little checkpoint, you could say, that, you know, yes, I did indeed get fully through the shot.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it has to happen every single time, but that is a nice little checkpoint for a lot of people. I would say, in my opinion, the guy that has the best finish in the world almost every single time would be Rory. And there's actually a really cool one I've got right, where is it, right here, where he's hitting a driver, and I've got plenty of iron swings of him as well, but just in particular with this driver swing here. So as he starts coming down, shifting all the weight, I mean, here, let's flip it as a lefty. You can see him getting off the left side there, but you'll see the tee flicking around in the air right there?
Yeah.
And with all the speed and power he has, and with that tee, you know, he's finished his swing, let's say right there. That tee's still flicking around, but to hold that finish like that, seemingly quote unquote forever, is not easy to do.
Yeah.
But that is the epitome of a full, complete, balanced finish.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So now let's go back to, I want to go back to the down the line view. So right here, and then right here. So again, this was last time. Now with your posture over there is pretty decent. I may have mentioned one of the things that I would do is I would, getting a little picky with this, but I would have the butt end of the grip a little bit lower so that it does indeed point essentially at like the belt line or the waistline.
Yeah.
Now, when you see, let's go back here to Jordan Spieth. We looked at him last week. So when you see these guys, 99% of the tour players have, regardless of the club, have the butt end of the grip at the belt line or the waistline. Bryson noticeably has the handle higher. It's a little different in his case. He's got all same length clubs. He does do things a little differently in the sense he's got his hands higher. He's found what works for him. But 99% of the guys, the players, men or women, you know, have the end of the grip at the belt line or the waistline. That helps encourage a better on-plane backswing.
Matt had me, I think 2 years ago when I did it, and I typically go like this, from the belt buckle to, you know, like that.
Like you're hitchhiking, like a
just
hand
like,
and a
you know,
thumb
from
kind
like
of
here,
yeah,
kind of thing, and
sure,
that seems to work. So
So
okay.
I mean, even if we looked at, say, you know, here's Tiger right here with a driver. So we look at this. I mean, it's going, you know, right there, belt line, waistline. So let's go back to yours, right here. So let's put a couple of plain lines like we did before. So last time, what we were seeing, we'll put some circles. Actually, let me get it queued up here. Yeah, here we go. So last time what we were seeing is you were pulling the club a little too under the shaft plane. We saw that right there.
Yep.
And some of that is influenced by the handle at address here, the posture, with the handle higher. Like it was more or less like it's your belly button, perhaps even a little bit higher than your belly button. So often a higher handle will promote the club, unfortunately, to work a little bit under the plane, and that's literally what you had
That
happening.
makes sense. Yeah.
Today, you have the handle lower. See how that is more at the belt line?
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. I'm seeing some things, Bill, they're a little different from last time. I'm seeing some, this club face was super closed.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen the ball position further back. So anyway, we just want to tweak you fundamentally and get everything as, wonderful as we can. Grip,
Yeah.
posture, aim, ball position. PGA, they often turn it PGA, posture, grip, alignment. So, but like I say, on the way back last time, the club head worked a little bit under the plane. I'll actually lighten this up a little bit here. Sometimes it gets a little dark. But, so the club head worked a little under the plane. And as you then worked up to the top, we saw a little bit of lifting of the head, and we saw the very short backswing. So your head right there was lifting up about maybe 2 inches.
Yeah.
Super common where people pull themselves out of their spine angle, they pop out of the shot, and plus we also saw from the other view how much your head moved laterally, a full head out of the circle. So it's just making things a little more difficult to get you back, on plane and to get you back in that circle. The body motion could be highly affected when you're doing the things you were doing there. Now today, look at this backswing. This particular one here, you're working this up that shaft plane like a machine. Now there were a few that I saw, yes, that were coming a little bit underneath the plane over here. This particular one was working back beautifully, right there. Whoops, let me put a circle on it, right there. Phenomenal. Was that something you were maybe putting a little more conscious effort on?
Yeah, for sure.
Like from the blue noodle that we did last time with the plane?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do all week.
Good.
Was trying to be
good,
conscientious of that.
Basically what you were doing from the mat that you're on right here, where you're positioned here, last time you were taking the club that was working more towards, say, the entrance door of the room over here, behind you and inside and under the plane, as opposed to what you're doing here today. You're taking it more back towards the camera right here, almost the palm tree over here, quote unquote straighter back.
Yeah, yeah.
Better. And then from here, as we continue on up to the top here, head lifted, but like half as much as last time. And the hands actually got up a little higher. See that?
Yeah.
Now, last time on the way down, as you started coming down, the shaft was pitching forward in that direction as you got a little bit closer and closer to impact, like we're seeing it right about, if I put a line on it, like right about here, right in here. Now, as you start to come down, that shaft is getting steeper and steeper. It's actually angled right here like this. So it was gradually pushing more out in this direction as you got closer to impact, and inevitably, see, it's right there. It's in front of your chest right there. So it was getting a little bit over the top of the shaft plane. You can see no shift off that left side.
Yeah.
The club was just simply, like we said, over the top. And that's where you were catching far too many. The club is inevitably pushing out, and you are catching far too many shots, as we saw here today as well, in the heel or the hosel.
Yep. I see it.
That's where we had the head cover drill that was positioned, over here, so that you couldn't hit the head cover. Now, over here on the right side, as you're coming down today, you have the club and the shaft in the heart of that little pizza slice, as I've always coined it, right in here.
Yep.
As what you had, quite frankly, right over here as you were initially coming down. But then the shaft started to gradually, as I mentioned a moment ago, pitch out a little forward. It steepened as it got closer and closer to impact. You kind of follow what I mean with that?
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yep. Now over here on the right side as you're coming down, I can see it as well. It's starting to, if we put a little line on it right here like this, as it's coming down, we can see it right there. So it is, again, starting to pitch forward. This is so incredibly common. And I would say, yes, today you're actually more over the top than last time. See the club there?
Yeah.
You see where you have it over here? And last time it was kind of in the center of your chest. Now it's actually, outside of your chest. So this is where too many errant shots are coming from.
Yeah.
Club face is open. It's just too far over the top of the shaft plane. Again, no shift off that left side. It's all arms and upper body. Those tour guys we know are utilizing the upper and lower body, the blending of the two. And then look at this one. You know, that one, to be honest, you were kind of lucky you caught it right there. Remember the one that you whiffed on?
Yeah.
So you whiffed, yes, but what it was, and actually I did not video it, but I was watching you, more than likely, your club was simply too out here, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you just flat out missed the ball. You were in this area over here.
Yeah.
Because a whiff, per se, is usually where we're hovering right above the top of the ball, let's say. But a lot of times I see players, when they quote-unquote whiff, the club is actually outside of the ball or the target line.
Yeah.
And
so what are, I guess we're probably going to run out of time. So what are...
Oh, we have, you're my last one here tonight. We're fine.
Okay. I guess this is great, right? Analyzing it and stuff. And I guess, you know, one of the things, there's just so many things to think about. And it's like, how do we just simplify, like, what are the 2 or 3 things, like this week, every time I address the ball, I can ask myself, right? Because I forget different things. Like, it's interesting when I see myself today, like everything you pointed out, I'm like, oh man, I usually do set it up in the middle. I usually do, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't do that today. You know what I mean?
No, correct. So yes, absolutely. I'm all about simplifying it, no doubt. Now what we're doing here, we're, you know, basically frame by frame, analyzing, looking at everything.
No, it's cool, yeah.
But yes, we have to keep it simple. So what I would highly suggest we do is, and let's just play this one right here. So when you swung through, you got through. But again, the finish there was a little less complete than what we saw last week over here. That was just a little bit more completed.
Yeah.
So last week, we had the different drills with the head cover and the blue foam noodle.
Yes.
Because what was happening there, and we'll just run this through really quick, because I want to show you the one with those divots. This is really, I'm going to show you those really cool ones with the divots. And then we're going to start working on this again. So when you did this, right here, when you swung it back, the goal here was to be slightly above the blue noodle or the shaft plane, the lower line, on the way up. And you did that because your earlier swings, as we know, were coming too under the shaft plane.
That's right.
Now you're slightly above it. That's fantastic. You know, you were essentially doing A over here. What we were then doing, you were doing Z over here. Wonderful. I love doing opposites. Then from there, the goal, and you made a higher, bigger, fuller top of swing position there. The goal then now is to get under the noodle.
Yeah.
This drill, Bill, is one of the oldest ones in the book regarding fixing, you know, downswing plane, or actually backswing planes as well. But to help shallow the club, to help inevitably attack from the inside, I would absolutely continue to do that. Now, did you have a chance to do any of this?
Well, I did it for one afternoon. I had like the snow pole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I tried to, I held my club like this, and I tried to put it, you know, parallel to this. And then what I wasn't sure though was like, am I supposed to put it close enough to me where, like, how far away do I put it, or how close do I put it? I guess that's the part that I wasn't too sure about.
Yeah, we'll set it up again. So typically, you know, what you would do is when you just make a practice halfway backswing where the shaft is parallel to the ground, and just check to see where that happens to be.
Right.
And then stick your rod, or in this case, the noodle. I just have that noodle over one of those alignment rods. I just make the noodle. They're just a little more blatant, a little more easily visually easier to see. But it's quote unquote far enough away so you don't hit the rod on the backswing or the downswing.
Okay. So it's there more for the visual of
Oh,
it.
no doubt. So you can see it out of your peripheral vision. And we'll do that again.
Okay, because I was just wondering, like, if I was supposed to, like, get it close enough where if I did something wrong, I would hit it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that can be awfully distracting. You know, when we hit it, that really throws us off. But now the best way to do that would be to video yourself with your phone.
Yeah.
As you're doing the drill, you know.
Yeah.
That's a tremendous way to do it. But yeah, this right here, you were a little under the plane, and you were attacking now more from an inside-out direction. And notice you missed the head cover.
Yeah.
Had a ball been there, you would have caught this incredibly solid and flush.
Yeah.
And because the plane bettered, and I see this almost every single time, is when the club shallowed, the plane bettered, the body motion bettered as well.
I felt it last week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were getting your weight off that left side. There's more power and more speed when that's happening.
Yeah.
Beautiful extension through post-impact. You released real nice. And look at the finish, man. You look like you're on tour. I mean, it's wonderful. This, I've been telling you right now, that noodle or the rod, whatever you want to call it, it does wonders.
Okay.
And for your case, it would do great for your backswing and the downswing. Now, today, I was seeing, for the most part, better backswings. There was a couple that got a little inside and under the plane. But for the most part, better. That's why I asked you earlier, were you making a conscious effort there? Because it looked a little different to me, so good. What I wanted here, let me show you right here. So under the drills right here. So regarding divots, actually right over here under lessons. So very interesting to see this. So right here, I got tons of examples. Right here is the example of, and we can flip it for you as a lefty. Well, actually, the words, I should flip it back right there. Now we can read it. So you can see how these pros are hitting down on the ball. But the lowest point, the bottom of the swing arc, right here, on average about 4 to 4.5 inches after where the ball was. Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, when we see it from a more zoomed in version, like this here, you'll see the club here is coming down. I'll put a little line right on the top of the club face like this. So right here, on the top of the club head. The club is clearly working down with its downward descent. I'll put a circle on the ball here too for reference. So right there. Now, as the club is continuing to come down, these guys are catching all ball first, totally flush. And the club is still working down. The ball is already at this point, let's call it long gone, but the club is still
almost a third of the club head is in the ground.
I mean, depends on, you know, how soft the grass is or what kind of shot they're trying to hit or whatever, but yeah, and then you see the explosion well after the fact. So the lowest point is somewhere in through here. And then, of course, it then starts to raise back up.
That's a huge divot.
Oh, sure is. Sure is. There's another example right, this one right here. So right here, what you'll see is here comes the club coming down. I'll put another circle on the ball there. So right here, he catches the ball totally flush right there. Boom, ball is gone. The club is still working down. You see the divot being ripped out of the grass.
Look at that.
So it starts to rip out right about here, about an inch past where the ball was. But again, the lowest point is about right here. Now to look at with Bryson right here, I want to show this. I got another minute on the video right here. Bryson right here. This is really, really cool stuff. So right here. See that? And he's even moving backwards, which is more difficult. It's in the sand, which is more slippery. But every single one of those.
And it's a controlled backswing, right? He's not too...
Sure.
Sure.
There's another example right here. Well, he's saying, beginners will hit it fat. See that? And then here is another example right here. He draws the line like this here, and he makes the swings here. So he does 10 swings.
There we go.
Full-blown swings here. But every single one of those divots in front of the line. And it's just unreal. So you can easily scrape your club, and like we talked earlier, scrape it a line in the ground. You can put a ball down if you want and hit them like we suggested, but you don't need to hit balls necessarily. And I would do this. And then the video just timed out right here. But so let me send this one here to you. So I can actually... so here I can, right what we were just looking at was this one right here. So he made 5, 6, 7, whatever divots. Here he goes. He finishes it right here.
7, 8.
Listen to the club speed.
9. Jesus. miss it once.
Pretty neat, you know. So, yes, let's reset up the blue noodle. Quite frankly, I want to do what we did last week, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The noodle, we'll use the head cover again, and I do want to show you with your head, the shadow. You can utilize that, because your head's moving way too much off the ball.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, I want to walk away with like 3 things to focus on for next Monday, and then in the interim, I'll focus on that in the range and.
For sure. So, okay. So let's jump back into your spot right there. First, let me show you though the with the shadow.
Yeah.
So right here, you can see how.
Oh, I see.
So I tell people, you know, you got your buddies there looking for their ball in the woods. You're over here, you know, in the middle of the fairway, working on your swing.
Yeah.
So you got your head. In this case, we'll utilize, you know, the white center stripe on the screen there.
Yeah.
So there would have to be obviously some object out in the foreground there. You just throw a head cover out there.
Yeah.
Or you could be your ball,
Yeah.
quite frankly. But you're like this here, so you're not looking down at the ground here. You're looking at the shadow. So I got my left ear on the stripe there.
Oh, I see.
And I don't want to hit you here with a backswing.
Yep.
But I'm looking at that, and as I swing to the top, if there's a little movement of the head there, a little bit's fine. But you are a full head out of the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it would literally would have been like, you know, like that. Most players, when they do that, very difficult to get back.
So you're
to
saying
a good impact.
You're saying you use the ball as that white line.
Correct. So you just
and then the shadow would be over the ball.
You
Got
just
it.
have a ball out here somewhere, or a head cover.
And then
or
that
something.
would be I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could be the side of the cart. It could be anything.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's one of the easiest things you can do. But you're going to feel certainly more, you know, like on top of the ball, more still, steady in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, you're turning, but you're just more centered.
Okay.
Yeah. So now in regards to, and we can use the head cover, but now with the noodle, so, and like I said a few minutes ago, you know, all this is one of those alignment rods.
Yeah.
My dad and I just made this gizmo, but we have, you know, I put the noodle on it just to make it visually a little more easier
Yeah, I'm going to do
see.
that. That's a yeah. And what I was doing was I was just going like this, and then I put the stick down like
Correct.
Okay.
Perfect. Because you want, people ask me all the time, what's the angle of this? It depends, because there is a little variance between, say, you know, a driver and a wedge. There's a little variance in there.
Got it. Okay.
So we get
Good.
you set in your spot right here. Yep. And how you want this, and as how we did it last time, is you want the noodle, just like what you were kind of saying a minute ago, you want, in this case, the noodle, or in your case, the stick, to be covering. Like, see on the TV, if you just turn your head around, see how it's covering the club shaft right there?
Yep.
That's exactly how you'd want it. Now, as far as distance from, so if you go ahead and get situated right there. So if you just rehearsed working back, nice turn going back, so you can see that's maybe a little close right here. So we'll just slide it back a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. So we'll go back to address. I want to make sure, yeah, it's covering perfect right here. It may not look like that from this camera here, the YouTube camera, but it's perfect right now. So let's go right back to address here. Go ahead and grip it. So we got the club face square.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, it was so shut. And I was like, well, I was wondering, I didn't want to say anything. I wanted to film it. But I was wondering, why in the world is he doing that? Now, typically, like I say, because for slicing, we do that as a potential fix. But that's
I do that with my
nothing more than
driver.
Yeah.
With my driver, I'll go more like this.
I would not. Because now you're taking that 10, 12, whatever degree loft to driver, and you're shutting that face. You're turning it like 4 whatever degrees aloft. I mean, that
otherwise it just sprays, but we'll save that for another time.
Well, because of the things you're doing,
yeah.
that's accounting for
see.
the errant shots.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, more so. Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
no doubt.
All right.
So we got your face square. We got the grip perfect. So you can see a little more of the logo right there. Beautiful. And then we want to have this right thumb that's just slightly to the left of center. And then see how the lifeline right there just covers your thumb like a little puzzle. That's perfect.
Okay, that's a little different.
So, yep. And with perhaps not as much forward lean of the shaft.
Okay.
You can have your weight here, 60 here, 40 here, and then the handle, the butt end, right about at the belt line or the waistline. So just lower it a little bit.
Go. Yep. So yeah. So
Very good.
Okay.
And as we did last time, and you can certainly turn your head and eyes and see the noodle. I certainly would a few times to get that visual feedback. So as you work it back like this with some turn of the body, you're riding just above the noodle. And then as you start hinging your wrist, you're going up to the top, you'd make your full backswing, but then on the way, higher a little bit, sure. But then on the way down, you shallow it and you get a little bit underneath the noodle.
Yeah.
For the drill purpose.
Yeah.
It is just pitching forward this way too much. It's killing you. You're
Yeah.
catching them in the hosel.
And so that's what I was trying. I was conscientious of that from last week, is going like this. And the part that I was wondering, like when I'm up here, like so there actually is a little bit of like that question mark, that whipping.
Yes.
And how pronounced is this pretty pronounced or
Depends on how much we need or don't need, or what someone's doing or not doing.
Yeah.
You don't need a whole ton of it, because as you work, go ahead and work back like this here. Yeah, but I would start hinging the wrists a little sooner. For you, I would say as you kind of pass this pocket here, I would certainly start to get those wrists a little involved here.
Okay.
But as you got up to the top, when you started coming, and you were about here with your backswing, as you started coming down, it was initially pretty decent right here. Remember we saw you in the pizza slices?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. But as you got closer and closer to impact, and we're getting a little picky with this, the shaft started to pitch this, see that? Oh. This way. And inevitably, it was over the top of the plane, over the noodle.
I got it, yeah.
And inevitably, it was then working from outside your target line here, outside in, and because it was out, that's where you would have hit the head cover, and you were then, as we saw, catching way too many in the heel and the hosel.
Yeah, so it's interesting. The dot that I just connected, like literally right now, was kind of like what, if we go back, hinge a little earlier, and then
hinge,
going up here.
There we go. Complete your backswing all the way up to the top. There we go.
And
we'll use the swing donut again, and I'm going to video that so you can see that, because you made beautiful swings with the donuts. And then from there, you're a little
like holding
under
this versus I was going like moving my wrist that way.
Yeah, you can just see what was
Yeah, I got it.
The shaft was inevitably out.
Yeah, that's the dot that I just connected. That it was kind of going. That's fascinating. Okay.
If you got set right here, go ahead. No ball, but your club's right here, so we're hitting a ball there, obviously. So go ahead and get set up. Face is square, ball is more centered, maybe even a hair forward of center. Good, maybe a little less forward lean of the shaft. Because again, you were applying so much forward lean here.
Yes,
You had a face that was so shut. You had so many ingredients to hit it this high off the ground.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And we saw 3.5 degrees, 3.5 yards high was your peak average. So, but as you work up to the top here, you have your wrist hinging, you make your good full, top of swing position, beautiful. But as you shallow it now, and inevitably you're feeling the club head that's more behind you longer. Because like I said, as we saw in the video, it was pitching this way.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah.
Now again, it's happening lightning fast in our swing. We might not feel it per se, but that's what's happening.
Yeah.
So now, as that club feels a little more behind you, so to speak, shallows, now as you're working into impact, your weight is shifting and moving, but see how you're coming from the inside?
Yeah.
The inside of the target line. You can do that as well. When you're out there practicing, you could take your club and you could scrape a line this way. Yeah, you could take your club and just scrape it this way. So you have an imaginary target line, and you want to be, attacking visually as you're coming down from inside out, let's call it. And with a little bit of release, go ahead and set up there, a little bit of release, meaning on the way down as you're coming from inside out as the face is closing to that path. Now you're going to hit beautiful draws. Little left to right action. As you're swinging more out this way.
I've heard sometimes people put like, there's like baby powder or some sort of like,
Yeah, just
whatever.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that too. Sure. So let's or actually, do you want to try real quick with the shadow?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can just take a look at. Let me put a ball over here. The launch monitor. Just trying to find a ball. So. Just saying it's not connected for some reason. So yeah, so you got your ear. Oh, just watch the. Let's scooch up here a little bit so you don't hit the launch monitor.
It's just the different height.
Yeah. So left ear is right there, so you're watching that.
Yep.
Just a backswing thing. So as you work to the top. But see, your head's in a way better position.
Got it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I would do that many, many times to feel it, see it,
Yep.
Now I get it. It's happening at 5 miles an hour. There's no ball.
Yeah.
We're looking there. We're not looking. I mean, I get it. There's things that are not the norm, if you will. But to see
Well,
that.
it's good muscle memory.
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
eventually,
Yep.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and let's. It was saying not connected. I'm not sure what happened there.
Right.
Actually, just go ahead and just hit this ball. Just kind of just hit it out. Just kind of tap it out there. I want to see something with the launch monitor. I might have to. Yeah, I've got to.
Reboot?
No, something's. Not sure what happened. Yeah, I can restart the software. So while I'm restarting the software, let's here. Let me kick this out of the way. Actually, now that I think, let's try a couple more here with the noodle. You can do some noodle swings here.
Yeah.
Let me shut this down real quick. I don't know what happened there. Good. That's it. Shifting. There you go. Little release. Good, beautiful. There you go. Good.
Yeah, I remember from last week, you can pretty much almost naturally see how the body turns when you come from the inside.
Good. Yeah, I was going to say we can try just a little bit faster. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the launch monitor. I haven't seen it do that. It's like all of a sudden it didn't like lefty mode. Let's put it over here.
Ball out of hitting zone.
Yeah, it wasn't connecting, even though it showed on the other screen that we had. It was able to connect, but it's, for whatever reason, it's not. All right, so we won't see the ball flight here.
Okay.
But unfortunately, but
that felt like a better hit.
actually we can't. Let's actually do this. Let me just shut this down. I'll just fire it right back up.
Yes.
I'm baffled by that, to be honest with you.
Well, hopefully it's all right.
Oh, everything's fine. It's got plenty of juice too. It just somehow lost connection. Maybe something with the Wi-Fi or the Bluetooth. But yeah, this would be the homework that I would be doing until I see you next time.
Okay.
Yep.
See, I hit the ground. I hit the ground first on that.
Everything checks out okay. Yeah, I think it lost the Wi-Fi connection.
That one felt good.
Yeah, it looked to be a little over the top of the noodle there. Let me take a look in a.
On the way.
Yeah, on the way down. On the way down. Looked
Oh,
to be,
really?
Yeah.
He popped my bubble. That felt good.
All right, let's try it again here. That was
good.
better.
That felt good.
That was a better swing. I could see it and I could hear it as well.
And
that was it's more solid for sure.
Yeah, and it was quicker too.
Yeah. Too bad we didn't have the little issue here with the launch monitor, because otherwise we could have seen that shot. I'm sure it would have been beautiful. So here, give me 1 second here with this, Bill. This looks like it should be connecting now. I don't know what happened. I apologize for that.
Oh no, it's fine. Thanks for the extra time.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, something happened with the Wi-Fi. You just lost connection and didn't want. Yeah, all right. So let's set it back to lefty. There we go. All right. Okay. Let me set the green accordingly. So we'll put this out. We had you at 100 yards earlier.
Yeah.
We got your 7-iron here. All right. Very good.
So,
Okay.
in terms of address,
Yep.
this pointing to the belt buckle.
Yeah, I would scoot back a little bit. You're a little tight to it right there. There we go.
Okay.
And lower that handle so it is indeed at the belt line. That looks pretty good there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And what you're doing there with the fist and the thumb, that's just a very general, distance from the ball. So, because as the club gets longer, let's say driver, the hands are primarily like underneath the chin.
Okay.
With a longer club. So when you got your driver, it's going to be a little bit more like this. This gapping would be bigger than the fist and the thumb. Okay, so there's a little variance. Now we're talking, say, a 9-iron. Now we're a little closer to the ball. This gap in here is maybe like, say, a tennis ball. Mm-hmm. It's small.
Now, is it still pointing to the belt buckle?
Oh, for sure. But then you would see, because say this is a 9-iron here,
Yeah.
now you would see my hands in relation to the chin. My hands are inside my chin line.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So-
Okay.
All right, so let's see it, Bill. Let's see, kind of like we talked last time, kind of a little joke, kind of like sports betting. What's the over/under
Yeah.
on a game?
That actually works, 'cause
this
I
is
think
kind of
I-
the over/under drill. Over going back,
I think
under
of that.
coming down.
Yeah.
Slightly over going back, but under coming down. Way better. Way better. Much more shallow downswing. Now the face, based off the result, was just a little bit open. See how the ball kind of peeled off to the left a little bit?
Yeah. What
So-
was the distance on that?
91.
Okay.
The speed looked a little low, admittedly, but look at the peak height. See this down
Yeah.
over here?
Yeah.
11 and a half, 12 yards high. That sure beats 3.5 that you were averaging,
Yeah.
45 minutes ago. That's a big difference, Bill. Big difference.
Yeah.
So had there been a little more release, rotating the hands, wrists, forearms, a little more closure to the club face through the hitting zone. Now granted, it's happening lightning fast, but a little more closure of the face, you would have hit a nice, beautiful little draw. Distance would go up. So better. Much more on plane on the way down.
Yeah.
And that's 105, 8 yards, whatever, 106 yards with a little fade. Once that straightens out, or you can get that curve in the other direction, you're going to get more distance. You know what I mean when I'm saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get you a little more squared up. Go ahead and let's get you set there. We'll get the ball, yep, maybe just a hair forward of center there. The handle being lower at the belt line. Let's get this right hand a little, there we go. Good.
Get that V, right?
Yep, going up to about your left ear. And then your shoulders will just get you a little more square. You tend to get a little like so many other people. You get open.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of times we get open like this. On the downswing, typically, we follow that alignment. Hence, outside in, and we're just making things worse. I would totally get squared up with the shoulders.
Okay. So
So a good way to do that, so when you're ready to go, I'll show you what we'll do. We'll go ahead and get ready to go there. From there, I would freeze, and I would take your club. So I would freeze like this. I would take your club and just lay it across your shoulders like this, and you will get a very good idea just underneath your chin, up here higher. If you stay right there, where your shoulders are a little bit more to the right than you'd want. So what we would want is your shoulder line parallel to your target line. You had the shoulders that were a little bit over here.
Yep.
Now, what they, whoops.
Oh, good thing you got this. Don't forget.
Oh, yeah, little microphones. So, what you would want is to have what they term that as a lefty golfer. You are set parallel right, like railroad tracks. Here's the ball, the target line. You as a lefty golfer, you are physically to the right of your target.
Yeah.
Railroad tracks.
Yeah.
So this is going here. Your shoulders are there, the other piece of the railroad tracks.
Yep.
So when you looked down your shoulder line, if you do that again, if you look down the shoulder line,
Address or-
sure, go to address, sure. Then you can stay in your posture. Set the club along the shoulders. Yep, so lay it across your shoulders now. Yep, stay in your posture, good. So when you do that, you would want to see, when you look over here, that this is pointed a little to the right of your target, a little bit.
Yeah.
You would know that you are square,
I see what you're
parallel.
saying. Yeah.
Now, if it's way over here, now you know you're just flat out
It would
aimed.
be obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, in the wrong direction. Good. In other words, if you saw this end that was pointed at the white stripe, the line, like pointed over there. Now you're actually aimed a little bit to the left. See that?
Yeah.
See what I mean there?
I do.
So alignment is very important, and a lot of people, don't understand the parallel.
Does that change the
terminology.
relationship with the noodle? No.
No, as long as we have the noodle or the rod, that's covering your club shaft.
Okay.
But then it's just a matter of which that may very well be the case. The noodle or the rod covers the club, but your shoulders may or may not be square. We would love to have them square. So we'll lower that handle a little bit. Yep, there we go. And we want to see at least 2 knuckles right there. Good, good. Let's get the face square. Not as much forward lean of the shaft. Because again, the more you get it forward like this, you're asking for a low ball.
Yeah.
And you hit it, knee high an hour ago.
So so this I'll have to break that habit because I habitually go like this, and so that's good. So I'll just focus on this.
Yep. And then let's put the head cover like we did last time. So let's put it just how we did. Now it may not pick it up with the launch monitor because this is in the way, but go ahead and set it may not pick up the ball flight because this is blocking. So we had that right about here like this, so that I usually say about a 1 finger gap in there. See that right there, Bill?
Yep.
Just a little bit of breathing room. But if you can not hit the head cover, you could safely assume you are coming from the inside much more effectively as what you would want to be doing. Just caught that a little fat, but the swing was pretty decent. And I do need to tweak the noodle just a hair. So let's try that again. I'm going to slide this a little bit over here. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's in a really good spot right now. So the handle, a little lower. Grip looks good. Yep, you're in line, you're squared up now. Better. Yeah, just a little off the toe there. Yeah. But man, that one you caught, whoops, yeah, I'll grab that. That one you caught when the launch monitor was offline was beautiful. So,
replicate that one.
Yep. So I'll end this the video here, but I would totally be doing this for the homework.
Okay.
Until I see you next. That's a little close. What I saw, the club head was literally touching the head cover there. So give yourself a little breathing room there. Yeah. So about, like I said, about a 1 finger gap right there.
Okay.
Yep. And I will typically have this head cover so that the front of it here is even with like the back of the ball.
Okay.
Or some people call this the front of it. It depends on how you verbalize it.
Yeah.
But this part right here.
Okay.
So the back part of the ball is what I typically say.
Okay.
But
so, well, thank you. So I guess things that I'll focus on is sort of in sequence is, addressing the ball, making sure the grip is right. Got this here, making sure my hands are low enough.
Yep.
Making sure I'm square.
Yep.
Making sure I don't have the
Correct.
That.
Correct.
So that's that. That's number one. And then it's the backswing.
Yep.
Bringing up.
And
then coming down.
That's
the
it.
inside.
Now to simplify it,
Okay.
over, under.
Yeah.
Over meaning like right here on the way up, not way out here, or whatever, but just right up, just above it.
Yeah.
So over, slightly, the rod, the noodle, under.
Yeah.
On the way down. Over, under.
Yep. No, that works. In fact,
Because we got to simplify. Anybody, we have to.
Yeah.
We have to.
That's what I was saying to myself last week over under, so I remembered it. So it works.
Now your pre-shot routine could be, a whole bunch of things potentially. My grip, my aim, my setup, my ball position, we got perhaps a number of things, but that's the pre-shot routine. But when we go to pull the trigger, so to speak, and make the swing, we want to have minimal. I'm talking like, quite frankly, one word or one visual.
Hey, let me call you back in 5 minutes. son. He never calls.
Yeah, no problem.
Unless he needs money or something.
Yeah, but when we make a swing, we literally would love to have like no more, if possible, no more than like one word. Now I know I said over, under, that's 2 words. I would not have any more ever than 2 words. That's starting to get too long.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if it's 1 word or 1 visual of something, let's say you're envisioning the noodle, that may help as well,
Yeah. No, that's great. Well, thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Good to see you again.
Yeah, likewise. Pleasure. And how do you want to? So I went on. And
Oh, yeah,
scheduled
well.
for Mondays.
Yep. Yeah, we'll take care. Let me end this, and then we'll take care of that.
Yeah.
So
I did. So there's today, next Monday.